Hi, my name is Tammy Tucker, and I am here to talk to you today about becoming an organ donor. Can you imagine still being able to help others even after death? The thought of that is a miraculous gift through being an organ donor. We were all born with the ability to change someone's life. Let's not waste it. My cousin was an organ donor recipient. He needed a cornea, his left eye. If he did not have this transplant, he would not be able to provide for his family or enjoy a lot of the things that he does, including sports. Luckily, it all worked out and he is doing great. According to the American Transplant Foundation, the cornea is the most commonly transplanted tissue. More than 40,000 cornea transplants take place every year in the United States. I didn't realize that until I did some research, and I'm really surprised to hear that and grateful for my cousin and the gift of his eye. The two of our classmates that have family members that have received transplants, they have received liver and kidney. Statistics show that the need for more organ donation is significant. According to organdonor.gov and the Mayo Clinic, 120,000 people are waiting for organ donation. 80 people receive a transplant successfully a day, but however, 22 do pass away. By being an organ donor, you can improve the lives of up to 8 people, and even more with tissue donation. There are so many amazing stories out there about organ donation. One very significant that stood out to me was a father who lost 40 pounds in 2 months to help save his daughter and give her a kidney. A young boy tragically died and was able to give 2 people the gift of sight. A Wake Forest baseball coach was able to give a freshman a kidney. And according to the Boston Globe, Cameron Lyle, a 1 in 5 million match to a young man with lymphoblastic lymphoma, generously gave up his shot put career to save a life of a complete stranger. I know after hearing these amazing stories, you are going to want to hear more about how to become an organ donor. I'm going to talk about the following: organ donation myths, which come up quite frequently, facts and information, and how to become an organ donor. According to the Mayo Clinic, there are a few organ donation myths still around, such as the following. Myth: organ donation is against my religion. Organ donation is consistent with a lot of major religions, and if you're not sure, ask your clergy. Myth: I'm under age 18. I'm too young. Fact: legally that's true, but your parents or legal guardian can sign for you to do such a thing. A lot of children are in need of transplants. Myth: I'm too old to donate. Nobody would want my organs. Not true. The fact is that there's no defined cutoff age, and that most of the time they go off strict medical criteria, and the medical professionals will determine if your organs are able to be transplanted. Again, myth: I'm not in the best of health. No one would want my organs. Fact: very few medical conditions get in the way of this, and again, medical professionals can determine at the time of your death if everything is fine and you can be an organ donor. Other facts and information that I found about organ donation are the following. According to UNOS, United Network for Organ Sharing, in 1954, the kidney was the first human organ to be transplanted successfully. When I think about 1954 and that happening, I think that's pretty amazing. Following that, in the 1960s, liver, heart, and pancreas. 1980s, lung and intestinal organ transplant procedures were beginning. The United Network for Organ Sharing does the following 3 things. The United Network maximizes the efficient use of deceased organs through timely allocation. They establish a system to collect, store, and publish data pertaining to a patient waiting list, organ matching, and transplants. They inform, consult, and guide people in order to increase the number of organs available for transplant. For the first time ever in 2001, the total of living donor numbers exceeded the total of deceased organ donors. I thought that was a pretty neat fact. Organ recipients are selected based primarily on medical need, location, and compatibility. According to the American Transplant Foundation, over 650,000 transplants have occurred in the U.S. since 1988. I think that's a lot. I think that's great, and I think there'll be even more in the future. The average median time to wait for transplant: kidney, 5 years. Liver, 11 months. Heart, 4 months. Lung, 4 months. Kidney and pancreas, 1.5 years. And pancreas, 2 years. I am happy to report that 80% of our class are organ donors. 20% said they would consider signing up. So if this has prompted an interest in you, then according to organdonor.gov, what you need to do to become an organ donor is to go onto your state's organ and tissue donor registry and sign up. After doing this, make sure that your driver's license denotes this decision. Sign and carry a donor organ card. Tell a family member and include that you're an organ donor on your wills. In conclusion, now that we have covered lots of information and even debunked some myths, if you're already an organ donor, encourage others to consider it. In the coming week, double check your driver's license, go on organdonor.gov, print out your card, sign it, and if you haven't made it a point to tell a family member yet, go and do so. Leave a legacy of life. Be an organ donor. Thanks for listening. See y'all later.